Everything you thought you knew about RV slide seal maintenance, it might be wrong. If you're spraying silicone or conditioners on your 2019 and forward Grand Designs, you could be doing more harm than good. We're here at the 10th Annual Tennessee Grand Design Owners Rally, held right here in Sevierville, Tennessee. And I noticed one of the vendors attending this year's rally was the factory rep for Jaeger Unitek Sealing Solutions. They make the OEM seals that are installed on our rigs at the factory. So with so much confusion out there about what we're supposed to be doing to protect our seals, you know, anywhere from seal dressings to silicone or talcum powder, I thought I'd ask him for an interview to get the truth on what we should be doing to take care of our seals. Plus, I'm going to show you another simple installation that fixes a potential leak point and finishes out the aesthetic look of our seals as well. Hey guys, so we're coming to you from the Tennessee Rally here with the Grand Design Rally, and I'm standing here with Luke from Jaeger Industries, and they do the OEM seals for all our Grand Design rig. I thought I'd have a chat with him and he could let you know what we should do to maintain our seals. There's a lot of confusion out there about what we should and shouldn't do, so I'm going to let Luke tell you exactly what we need to be doing.
Yeah, so thanks for the introduction. My name is Luke McCarty. I'm the aftermarket specialist with Jaeger Unitek, and we are the proud manufacturers of the Flip and Seal Slide Out Sealing System. We are the sole provider of Grand Design since about 2019, 2020. It kind of depends on when they ran out of our competitors' part plant by plant. But there's a big misconception that our parts and even our competitors' parts are made out of rubber. That is actually not the case. They are made out of thermoplastics. And the reason being this is important is because there's a lot of conditioners and sprays on the market that are marketed towards rubber and for rubber slide out seals. And if they are truly for rubber and formulated for rubber, they will actually degrade and hurt your plastic seals more than if you just left them alone. So currently we are in the process of making our own formulated specifically for automotive grade thermoplastics. But until then, all we can kind of recommend and stand behind officially as a company is non-degreaser soap and water, cycling your room in and out once a month if possible. Once they take a set, cracking and tearing is just much more easy. So you want to try and keep them malleable. And if you can park it in the shade, keep it away from direct UV exposure. Obviously, if you are able to store it indoors, get it out of the sun, it's going to be the best thing for it.
So let me ask you about one more thing.
Yeah.
A lot of times we get these slides and the flip seals don't want to flip. They're staying in.
Yep.
Is there anything that we can do about that? Is that because we wax those sides too much and it's not allowing them to get a little bit of friction to flip, or you have a suggestion for that?
So I never thought about the wax thing, but so you typically at the OEM side of things, when your seals aren't wanting to flip by themselves and maybe you have to go take a broom and flip them out, it's usually because, and it could have been the OEM or maybe it could have been a replacement seal, but usually we strive for around a quarter to half inch of contact with your seal in your slide box. Anything more than that, that's when you start seeing it not want to flip right. So maybe you have too much wipe on there, maybe you have a really, maybe your room doesn't have a long cycle time and it doesn't have enough time to hit that flip. I know there are products out there that you can kind of put on there. We actually don't make any yet, but we are in the process of making our own as well.
Like those little dots?
Yeah, exactly. You put it on the side, it'll flip it for you. Ours does have that little patented design though. The wiper blade tip helps wick away the water on your slide box. Also helps your seals kind of catch and flip. I've heard more good things about ours flipping like they should, but I think it's more of a length issue. Maybe you just need a shorter wipe then. But yeah, it could definitely be annoying, but we are going to be looking into getting one of those seal flippers as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Luke was kind enough to give me a couple of these flip seal style caps. These can help prevent water intrusion as well as help keep bugs from nesting and entering our camper. They like to crawl right up the end of these open seals, and let me tell you, we had a family of stink bugs try to take up residency with us last summer, and I could not figure out where in the world they were coming from or how they were getting into the camper. That open corner gap where the vertical and horizontal rubber sweeps meet, evidently that's a notorious entry point. And these Jaeger style caps, they're specially molded automotive grade polymer covers that are designed to eliminate that exact vulnerability. So instead of the old industry method of slathering thick, messy globs of silicone sealant into the corners, these engineered caps create a clean and permanent shield. They feature an adhesive backing that creates a watertight bond, and the precise geometry actively deflects rainwater away from your slide walls while preventing highway dust, drafts and pests from sneaking inside. So I'm going to show you how to install these things on our camper, and I'll give you a link when I'm done to the product in the description as well. Now the key here is the fit. Look at this. This isn't just standard rubber. It's that automotive grade thermoplastic that Luke was talking about earlier. Since our rig didn't have any corner closing seals on it, and we're not replacing any of the seals, there's nothing for us to remove. We just need to clean the surface and prep it for adhesion. Now, I've got some of this wash all right here, and I just mixed it into a little container like this, a little sprayer, and I'll use that to prep the surface. But afterwards, I'm gonna have to use this wash Waxaw to protect the surface, because that red stuff is going to remove all the wax. If you're not familiar with this product, make sure you check out that link up here. So after I clean the surface with the Waxaw, I'm going to wipe the area down with some denatured alcohol, just to ensure there's nothing left behind that can affect the adhesion. Then I'm going to use some adhesion promoter. This was included in the kit. This isn't brain surgery or anything, but it does require you to exercise some patience, and just make sure your surface is completely prepared before you attempt to stick the corners. Something else these closing corners ought to do is to eliminate the light you see sometimes peeking through the corners of some RVs. I've linked these in the description below. It's a cheap fix that could prevent a really expensive floor repair later on down the road. First, I'm using Waxaw to strip away any existing wax, road grime, and debris from around and underneath the rubber seals. Next, I grab a fresh microfiber cloth to wipe the entire area completely dry. Then I give it a thorough wipe down with denatured alcohol. This removes any leftover residue so the adhesive can get a perfect bond. After that, I apply a thin layer of 3M adhesion promoter right where the cap will sit. Now for the main event. Line up the StyleCap carefully with the corner joint. Just peel off the adhesive backing and press it firmly into place. Make sure to apply even pressure all around so the seal locks tight. And just like that, no more stink bugs. You see, maintenance doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs to be correct. So big thanks to Luke from Jaeger Unitek for the education. Remember, check the links in the description for those corners and through frame seals, and let me know in the comments if your seals are flipping properly. Well, we had a really good time at the Tennessee Rally, and we certainly learned a lot on a lot of different topics while we were here. Hey, if you haven't been to a rally, you really should give one a try. It's a place where you can make a lot of different friendships, and like I said, learn a whole lot about your rig. It was really nice to be able to get the actual recommendation on how we should be taking care of our seals from the actual manufacturer. So if you found this information helpful, how about hitting that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up? And if you want to see more RV DIY type videos, make sure you click that bell also, so you'll get notified every time we upload a new video. Well guys, as always, stay safe out there and see you next week.